we are taking a risk by being public, by talking on podcasts, by interviewing on other podcast channels, by creating a YouTube channel, by creating a business where we share our knowledge, right? Because there's a lot of people out there. We've seen some crazy people do some crazy things to us, sending emails to our customer service team, calling us, approaching us in public and like directing their anger at us. Somebody accused me of being the reason that we went into Iraq and Afghanistan because of WMD. I was like, I joined CIA in 2007.
Yeah.
The whole WMD thing happened in 2002.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way I can be held accountable for that, but I was the focus of their anger, right? And that happens to us. And I think we are both very sensitive to the fact that we are public and we have made our family public, right? We want to share our entire experience in this life as Americans, as service people, as business owners, with everybody. We want to be transparent.
Right.
And some people see that as a reason to target us. So the huge advantage that we have is that it's unlikely anyone out there can target us as effectively as you can counter target. Essentially, you can protect us from the tools that other people use to find us. I think that's what's been kind of our superpower. So out of curiosity, if you were a crazy and you were trying to find somebody, what would be like 2 or 3 things that you would look for right away?
I don't want to tell people my secrets.
Fair enough. So then not you. What would a average crazy? Because you're a special kind of crazy. So what would an average crazy look for?
So, I think like I've talked about before, the internet is the biggest security risk because nothing is private, right? If you look long enough and hard enough, you can find out almost anything about a person, especially somebody who starts to become public. But even then, I think there was somebody, I usually do research on people when I'm going to work with them. That's because I'm curious. But it's amazing how much you can find out. You can find out who their spouse is, what their not their voter record, but how they are registered to vote. Usually voter registration records have addresses with them. You can find out history of phone numbers. You can find out family members, right? I mean, that's one of the key things that you do in targeting is not just look at the person, but look at who's around them. All of that's on the internet.
Yeah. The internet's incredible because it does all that work for you. It'll tell you the political leanings, the religious beliefs. It'll tell you sometimes the healthcare history, the phone numbers, the emails, the addresses, the history of addresses, the history of emails. It'll connect you with the phone numbers and addresses of family members. It's really quite insane how much information is out there that can be discovered, not even collected, just discovered if you hit on the right kind of website, because there's websites out there called people search websites that are backed by things called data brokers and information brokers. And these are just web crawlers that are automated to go out there, collect personally identifiable information, PII, collect that about people, and then bring them together into a single database. So when people want to find you, they really can find you. And I think we have always known that was the reality. If people want to find you, they can. So a couple of the things that we do to protect ourselves, one is we don't live where we are registered to live.
Right. The address I usually use for things is actually a forwarding address.
Yep. Which is completely legal in the United States. So anybody out there who wants to protect their own personal information, you can actually register to live in a forwarding address. And then physically live in a completely different address. Does it make life a little bit complicated for Amazon or whatever else? Yeah, but it also means that when people find your voter registration and they find your tax history, the address they find is not yours.
It's not where you're physically residing.
So when Crazy shows up with a bunch of, pickles or eggs, they're throwing it at somebody, like they're throwing it at a door that is a business, exactly, a forwarding address. If you like this short clip, make sure you click here to see the next clip or here to see the full podcast episode.